America, we are back, baby. Welcome to another episode of America Unfiltered. We got a great show for you guys. So good to be back. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. I hope everyone had a great break. We took a week off the show. First time I've taken that much time off the show since I was moving a few months ago. But it feels very good to be back. Very excited to be here. Like I said, we got a lot of fun things to talk about. Today, I want to go over all the things we've missed over the last week. And holy shit, there's been a lot. I want to talk about some things that happened today as well. I want to talk about this imminent Iran war. I was going to talk about it last week, and to be honest, I'm kind of glad I waited because there was some major updates today that prove that I was right all along. I've been saying that the Iran War 2 is imminent, and it looks like it is going to happen. It looks like it will happen fairly soon, that the United States is giving a green light to Israel to go bomb Iran again. And what does that mean? That means that the United States, big brother United States, is going to have to come have Israel's back again. This is not what people wanted. This is not going to make the voter base happy. I mean, they want to win in 2028, but they keep just fucking us in the ass and expecting us to be okay with it. So we'll talk about that today. We'll talk about the Netanyahu-Donald Trump meeting that happened in Palm Beach, Florida today. I also do want to talk a little bit more about the Epstein files. Again, has to do a little bit with Israel, but it also has to do with Donald Trump. And there were some pretty damning files that got released, including a letter from pedophile Larry Nassar, however the fuck you say it, the old United States Olympic gym coach who molested a bunch of young girls. So apparently Jeffrey Epstein and him were writing letters to each other in prison, and one of them was about President Donald Trump. So again, we'll talk about that today. I also do want to talk a little bit about what happened with Clavicular. If you guys don't know who Clavicular is, he is the looks maxer. He went on the Michael Knowles show. We'll talk about that part of it, but I also want to talk about what happened when he was on his way home the other night. He was being followed by a stalker. The stalker attempted to jump onto his vehicle and did jump onto the hood of his vehicle, and Clavicular ran over this individual. Kind of based? I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll go over it. I thought it was, again, it's not really it's kind of funny. I mean, I don't know. I'm in between. Like, I don't want people to get hurt, but at the same time, fuck around and find out. So it's a little bit funny. Clavicular, he's a world-class mogger, and I'm a mogger, so, takes one to know one. But we'll talk about Clavicular a little bit today. I'll talk a lot about the interview with him and Michael Knowles. That was really interesting. Honestly, if you guys haven't seen the entire thing, it's a hilarious watch. It is very funny. And it shows like the differences in the generation. Like we talk about boomers and Gen Z, but Michael Knowles isn't really a boomer. He's a younger guy, and he's a Catholic, even though he works at the Daily Wire. But you can really see the big differences between the generations when you watch this stream. So we'll talk about all that today. I do want to talk a little bit about Candace Owens falling off. Again, I fucking called it. I'm your guy's crystal ball. You shake it, you look at it, you ask me for answers, and I'll give them to you. And again, maybe I'm not always correct, but I'm batting pretty well right now. I mean, I said that Candace was going to have her fall off, and oh lord, did she have a fall off. Candace Owens is crashing the fuck out. Total bitch fit right now on X. And what happened to the Egyptian planes, Candace? Again, the second someone proved Candace's theory wrong about the Egyptian planes and showed that all the data was incorrect, she just dropped it, and now she's on to the next thing. So we'll talk about the fall off of Candace Owens. I also want to talk about a couple other things today. Like I said, it's going to be a longer show, going to be a great show. I've been off for a week, so I'm glad to be back, but I want to talk about Joe Rogan not giving a full endorsement to Nick Fuentes, but I like what he said. Him and Shane Gillis had a discussion towards the end of Joe Rogan's episode, and they were talking about Catholic presidents, Catholic leadership, and they mentioned Nick Fuentes, and they start talking about Nick Fuentes. It's a very interesting clip, so we'll play that clip for you guys today. I bet you guys will enjoy it. We'll talk a little bit about this Minnesota fraud that's happening. I haven't looked too much into the Minnesota fraud yet, so I actually don't know, a ton about it, I guess. But we'll talk about what I do know about it. We'll show some highlights from the video by Nick that got put out there. There was also an article that I was asked for quotes on. So we'll go over that article today. I haven't read it yet. I'll be reading it for the first time with you guys. We'll see how it is. I'm excited to hear about it. I had a great phone call with this guy. He asked me for quotes on an article about Gen Z and Israel and the relations between the two. So should be interesting. And then the last announcement I do have, and the last thing, this isn't something we'll talk about today, but this is a major announcement from America Unfiltered. Last year, or earlier this year, I guess still 2025, earlier this year, I started my show on January 6th, and I couldn't have imagined getting this far with my show. I, got in the top 5% of all podcasts on Spotify. Major celebration with that one. I mean, huge accomplishment, and it's all thanks to you guys. You guys are really the ones who are helping with the show. I love the viewers of this show. That's why I respond to all the comments. I try and stay in touch with as many of my viewers as possible. But on the 1-year anniversary of America Unfiltered, on January 6th of 2026, we will be having Florida candidate for governor James Fishback on the show for a live interview. I hope you guys are excited about it. I'm excited about it. I've met him once, as I talked to you guys about last week, but I'm excited to talk to him again at length at this interview we are going to do over Zoom on January 6th. It will be an awesome show, and if you guys have any questions you want me to give him, feel free to comment them on the show, DM me, tweet at me, I don't give a shit. Just send me the questions, and as long as they're not absolutely retarded, I will ask them. He will not back down from any questions. He gave me his word on that. And we're going to do what we can to vet this guy out a little bit. I think I have a pretty good feeling on him so far. I talked to him a bit, and I was very excited about the things I heard from him when we spoke. So I'm really excited for this conversation. I want your guys' input on it as well. I want your guys' questions. I want them to be answered as well. So please feel free to send me those questions, and we will ask him any questions as long as they are not absolutely fucking retarded. But with that, I do want to get right into the show. I want to talk about we already went over the topics we're going over, but I want to get right into the episode. But before that, I want to remind everyone to hit the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. We'll be reading all the comments for a Monday and Tuesday show last week today. We got a good amount of comments to get through at the end of the show, so it'll be a fun show. A lot of responses. And please remember to join our Telegram channel as well. Scan that code up there in the corner. Stay updated on all things America Unfiltered. Hit the Twitter link down, or it's not a link, but type that into your Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on X. Also stay updated on all things America Unfiltered. But with that, now let's get into the fucking show. Let's start the show, folks. I want to talk a little bit about this Iran war. So when was it? June or so? When Israel one foggy night decided to start bombing Iran out of nowhere. And then the reason they did this is because they knew they had Donald Trump by the balls. They knew if they bombed Iran, that the United States would have no choice but to come and have their back. So Israel bombs Iran. Iran starts going back at Israel. They're firing missiles back and forth, and the United States then steps in. The United States is controlling Iranian airspace, controlling Israeli airspace, deflecting missiles, shooting targets. And then beyond that, we took it a step further. We went and we bombed their nuclear facilities, Fordo and Natanz. And we use bunker buster bombs. So these bombs go down deep into the ground. The United States is one of the only countries in the world, if not the only country, that has these bombs, has the capability to destroy the nuclear facility that was in Natanz and Fordo. So Israel bombing Iran without the ability to actually destroy the nuclear site shows that they knew that we would back them up. They had no choice. The United States had no choice but to back them up, or we'd look like pussy allies. And I don't think we should have. I honestly think if Israel wants to get itself into another war, another conflict, let Israel fucking do it alone. It's not the United States taxpayers' job to fund this bullshit. It's not our job to protect Israel at all costs. But that's what happens, and that's what seems to always happen. So when we jumped into the war, we used these bunker buster bombs to destroy Natanz and Fordo, destroying their nuclear facilities, or at least some of it. I'm sure they moved a lot of the equipment out of the nuclear facilities before then. But then after that, the United States has kind of been going back and forth in the conservative movement. You know, there's been this split in the conservative movement, the Civil War, and a lot of it really started right after that. You know, it's always been around, but it really exploded after that. And that's kind of around the same time that Nicolas Fuentes really took off. I mean, again, he's been a big figure for years now, but right after that happened is really when he started to explode. It was one of the biggest streams he had all year was the night that Israel decided to bomb Iran because he predicted it. Again, Nick's right about a lot. You got to give him that. I know some people who watch my show aren't the biggest fans of Nick. I'm a massive fan of Nick. But for the people who aren't, you got to admit, he's right a fucking lot. So now we are in a situation where it looks like it's happening again. Iran is, again, getting towards a nuclear bomb, or at least that's what we're being told. You know, in the past, we were told by the United States' own intelligence that, no, they are not a few weeks or even a few months away from a nuclear bomb. They're probably a few years out. And then Mossad was like, you're wrong. Nope, they are very close. They're like 2 weeks out. You guys got to do this now. And what did the United States do? They ignored the United States intelligence, they favored the Israeli intelligence, and they went and bombed Iran. And now it brings us to today, where Netanyahu met with Donald Trump in Palm Beach, Florida, and they said that Israel is looking to strike Iran again. They're looking to strike Iran again by saying that they are, again, getting close to a nuclear weapon. And they're using, like, vague threats. They're like, they'll be able to bomb United States cities. They'll be able to bomb Mar-a-Lago. Like, that's a fucking threat. When you directly say that another country is going to commit an attack against the residence of the president, basically, that's not the White House, but his other residents, that's a indirect threat. And that's essentially what they said. And Donald Trump gave the green light saying, if Iran doesn't stop building weapons, we will bomb the shit out of them. And let's talk about why Iran wants a bomb. You know, I'm not disputing that Iran has been working towards a nuclear weapon, but why are they working towards a nuclear weapon? It's because of the Greater Israel Project, and it's to defend themselves against Israel, who is a nuclear power, even though they fail to admit it. I remember even asking some of my viewers about this, and they were like, if Israel hasn't admitted it, I won't. It's like, okay, but everyone in the fucking world knows that Israel has nuclear bombs. That's literally the reason JFK got killed. JFK wanted to inspect their nuclear facility, and then part of the Jewish mafia went and whacked JFK. That's literally what fucking happened. It's pretty indisputable at this point, especially after reading the JFK files. So yeah, that's one of the reasons the presidents fail to go against Israel. They choose not to go against Israel because they know they'll just get fucking whacked. It's happened before, it will happen again. They ousted Nixon, they whacked JFK. What do you think they do to Donald Trump? He's already been shot at. He was almost shot at again a few weeks later. He doesn't want to fucking die. He just wants to finish his term and get the fuck out of politics. He's sick and tired of this shit by now. But the United States gave the green light to Israel, and it looks like it most likely is going to happen again. With the Greater Israel Project, Israel wants to continue to expand its territory. Not only do they want to annex Gaza eventually, that war's not over either, you could have my word on that, but they also want to take parts of Lebanon, they want parts of Iraq, they want to destabilize the entire region. But how has that worked out for the United States? When we went and invaded Iraq, was it in the United States' best interest, or was it in Israel's best interest? Netanyahu came and testified, saying that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction that they were going to use against the West, to destroy freedom. And then we went, there was no weapons of mass destruction, we had tens of thousands of American soldiers die, we spent trillions of dollars on the military-industrial complex, and are we any better because of it? You know, a lot of the Muslim countries now fucking hate us. We had to bring a lot of them into America because we destabilized their entire region, destroyed families, destroyed homes, and we did it all to support Israel. So I don't think Israel has our best interests in mind. I don't think Iran necessarily has our best interests in mind. I don't think any of the Middle East has our best interests in mind. We need to be an American nationalist, a Christian nationalist, an America First nation. A nation that doesn't allow Israel to manipulate American politicians, pay off American politicians. We need to be a nation that just says no to them for fucking once. I mean, it's insane. We're like simps to this country. They want anything, we go and fucking do it for them. And that's what's happening here. So when Israel or Netanyahu came to America today to meet with Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't even hesitate. He met with Secretary of State Rubio. He met with Secretary of War Hegseth. He met with Donald Trump. And through all these meetings, they were given the green light to go ahead and attack Iran if it's deemed that Iran is still building a bomb. And we know they are. We know they've been working towards this, and they're doing it to defend against the only other nuclear power in their region. They don't want to get destroyed by Israel, so to defend themselves, they have a nuclear bomb. That's what, again, nuclear bombs aren't really fired much, but what they are used as is leverage. They're used as is like, you can't attack me because I have nuclear weapons. That's one of the reasons a lot of countries just don't outright attack Israel, even though the entire fucking region despises Israel because they have nuclear weapons. Having nuclear weapons is a great deterrent for war, a great deterrent for attacks. And again, that's the reason Iran wants to have one. It's that fucking easy, that fucking clear. But the media doesn't want to talk about that. They want to ignore that. They want to act like that's not even happening at all. But that meeting happened today. It lasted for a couple hours between Donald Trump and Bibi Netanyahu. And let me see if I can pull up this Trump clip really quick. Let's see. I know I have it right here somewhere. Yeah, right here. All right, give me a moment. Let me get it on the big screen. I want to play this clip for you guys because this is the clip where Donald Trump says they will support strikes on Iran.
Will you support an attack, Israeli attack on Iran if Iran will not have a deal? If Iran will continue with their ballistic missiles and also nuclear weapons?
If they will continue with the missiles, yes. The nuclear, fast. Okay? One will be yes, absolutely. The other was, we'll do it immediately.
Mr. President,
Hear that? They're going to do it immediately. So the president of No New Wars is now starting another fucking war. Oh my lord. It's absolutely insane. Donald Trump is such a fucking hypocrite. He's such a liar. He's just another politician at this point. He really became part of the establishment. And it kind of ties into what we're going to talk about next, because the reason I think he's part of the establishment now is the way he sucks up to Israel, the way him and Bibi Netanyahu have their little meetings. I mean, it's only year one, and Donald Trump and Bibi have met 5 times. This is the 5th time. And I really think it all ties into a few things. I mean, obviously, there's the Miriam Adelson money and the Israel lobby money in itself. That's one massive factor that really makes Donald Trump shill for Israel. But another thing is the Epstein files. We all know that Donald Trump is potentially guilty in the Epstein files, even though they're being hidden from us. And this is some pretty damning stuff. We got more release of the Epstein files. We got a little bit more transparency on it. But even after they released the additional Epstein files, they were like, just so you guys know, you guys can't believe everything you see in there. They put stuff in there. The Democrats put stuff in there as a hoax to try and get Donald Trump. Really? If the Democrats were manipulating with the Epstein files, there would have been no photos of Bill Clinton in there. But okay, guys, yeah. Keep trying to gaslight us, you fucking retards. Again, we're way too smart for their gaslighting, but they don't want to acknowledge that. They think we're all stupid. They think we're dumb goyim. But no, we're ascending. We're way smarter than they are at this point. But Donald Trump seems to be pretty guilty in these Epstein files. And who ran Epstein? It was Mossad. Epstein was best friends with Ehud Barak. Ehud Barak, the former chief of Mossad, prime minister of Israel, who was Epstein dating. He was dating Ghislaine Maxwell. Who was Ghislaine Maxwell? Well, her father was Robert Maxwell, part of Mossad. So I think it's pretty clear that Jeffrey Epstein was tied to Mossad. Maybe he wasn't an employed agent, but he was working with them very heavily, and he was tasked to do what he did for Mossad. I'm sure they just sought out a very rich pedophile who they could influence, which was Jeffrey Epstein, and they set him up on this island, and they were like, you know, get billionaires here, get politicians here, get people we want dirt on over here, and let's do some business together. And that's probably exactly what happened. But Donald Trump seems to be pretty guilty in this, and because of that, because he doesn't want them to just pull the rug out from under him and show the world how guilty he really is, he's bending over backwards for Israel. He's doing everything Israel wants for them. And that includes bombing Iran. That includes allowing the Gaza war to go on as long as it did. And now we have more Epstein files coming out. And not only do we have more Epstein files coming out, they said that there is 1 million more documents they found. So I remember just a couple months ago, when was it? A few months ago, when they were like, what Epstein files? They don't exist. The whole thing's a Democrat hoax. You're still talking about Epstein? I don't even want your support if you're talking about that loser. Like, what the fuck was that when Donald Trump said that? Absolutely absurd thing to hear from the president of the United States, who literally campaigned on the idea of transparency and releasing the files. But we don't ever get transparency, do we? We just get lied to. We get told slop. We're goyim to these people again. That's all we are. But 1 million more files are apparently coming out. Absolutely absurd that they said there were no files. Now there's, 1 million plus files. They release files, then they redact some of them. They release this bullshit-ass video of Epstein killing himself. But then it gets proved to be a AI fake. They released the prison video, and it was edited in Adobe Premiere. They even fucked up on the original file release. Like, I didn't realize this when I did my 4.5-hour show where I went through every Epstein file. But if you copy and pasted the lettering, where the black lines were the redacted information, and then you copied it into like a Word document, it would show you the redacted information. This administration's a fucking joke. I mean, they're retarded. They're literally retarded. We need a short bus for all the people in Washington, D.C. because of how fucking dumb these people. I mean, they are literally fucking retards. But in the new files that they did drop right before Christmas, I want to read to you guys one of the files. Let me pull it up right here, and I'm going to read this to you. This was some pretty insane stuff. And again, we can't verify 100% if this is true, but we can verify that the letter was written and was received. A lot of people are speculating that it could have been written by somebody else to try and make Trump look guilty, but I don't know. I kind of believe it. I kind of believe it, guys. And I really think Trump is guilty in this. Maybe Trump's not guilty of everything, but Trump is definitely guilty of something. Something pretty damning. Something that he really is doing everything he can to prevent these files from being released. But this letter is written from Jeffrey Epstein to Larry Nassar. He was the pedophile who raped and molested all the young gymnasts on the USA Olympic team. And it goes from Jeffrey Epstein to Larry Nassar. Dear LN, as you know by now, I have taken the short route home. Good luck. We shared one thing, our love and caring for young ladies at the hope they'd reach their full potential. Our president shares our love of young nubile girls. When a young beauty walked by, he loved to grab snatch, whereas we ended up snatching grub in the mess halls of the system. Life is unfair. Yours, Jeff Epstein. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's legit. People are arguing that it's not. People are arguing that someone just planted that there to make Trump look guilty. But I don't think so. I really think it's legit. It looks like his handwriting, similar to a lot of the other letters we saw in the Epstein files. It was written from one prison to the next. People are making arguments. Oh, would he really write that? Thinking it's possible that a prison guard would look into it. I don't think he was going to give a shit. He knew he was a dead man anyway. His cellmate tried to kill him. That was documented. And then they moved him into another cell, and then he died mysteriously. I think he knew he was a fucking dead man when he wrote the letter. Let's see. There was also something else that was put in the files. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Looking for it right now. And then there's another thing in the files from the FBI where they said, we know about criminal activity which happened in multiple states on airplanes, etc. Blank claim there were films of men who were recorded. These men are prominent figures such as Epstein, President Bill Clinton, and President Donald Trump, and Maxwell is also on the tapes. So one of the victims alleges that Donald Trump on the planes and on the island was molesting people. This is also in the files. And then, like I said, they found 1 million more files. And again, we're probably not going to get them for a very long time. Even though the deadline is already passed, the Department of Justice doesn't give a shit about us. They don't give a shit about what we want. They just want to get away with this. They just want They just want to treat us like the goyim we are, the stupid, retarded goyim we are. We're nothing to them. They don't give a shit about us. They don't care about actual transparency. They care about the retards in the country who are still like, MAGA, Trump's the best president ever. He can do no wrong. It's like, really? Really? How is bombing Iran okay? How was allowing the wars to go on for this long okay? Russia, Ukraine, is that still going on? Everything Donald Trump's done has been abysmal for the most part. Even the deportation numbers are shit. I mean, they are so fucking bad. Especially when you eliminate self-deportations, they're really fucking bad. But even with self-deportations, we're at under 1 million. I think we're actually at under 750,000 total. We're not getting enough deportations. They want to tell us that the number's like 2 million. But it's nowhere fucking close to that. We're not getting anywhere close to enough. We have huge scale fraud happening in Minnesota. We have the political party on the right completely divided over one topic, and that topic is, or two topics really, but those topics are Israel and identity politics, which they don't want to talk about, but they don't want to talk about because they're old and dying off and they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit that when they die, we'll still be a white majority country. But my generation will have to deal with being a white minority, and that's not going to be America at that point. America is a white majority country with Christian values, founded by Christians and white people, essentially. And again, it's not all white people, it's not all Christians, but it's saying that the leadership is Christian. It's saying that the majority of the country should be white, and that's the way you'll keep America, America. Not importing the entire third world. That's how you ruin this fucking country. If you import the entire third world into this country, guess what? We're gonna become the third fucking world. If you have little Somalia over here, and little Uganda over here, and little whatever the fuck over here, we're gonna be fucked. You think those people are going to keep free speech? You think those people are going to keep gun rights? You think those people are going to keep women's rights? Hopefully not. Maybe, guys, maybe. But, again, to get back to the overall point, America will not stay America if that happens. So Donald Trump has been abysmal. Donald Trump has not done anything really of substance to help Americans. He's really just helped his donors. He's really just helped Israel. He's really just helped the lobbyists. He's helped the GOP. He hasn't helped anybody. And his successor, JD Vance, JD is really struggling right now with support. I mean, JD is trying his hardest not to disavow the Groypers and disavow Nick Fuentes. But JD Vance, I don't think he's the guy. I really don't think he's the right candidate that they should put up. They've been priming this guy for 10 years now. I mean, he went from a Yale Law School guy to a senator and then VP within a couple of years of that. Like, who the fuck even is this guy? And he's kind of a fat sack of shit. He's not married to a real American. It's another problem with it. I don't think JD Vance is the guy. He takes Peter Thiel money. He was a Peter Thiel prop. And I really think getting JD Vance in is Silicon's Valley way of having a direct ear to the White House. If he gets in, it's literally the same as having Peter Thiel as president. There's honestly no fucking difference at that point if JD Vance gets elected. And it looks like that's the way we're going. But the Epstein files, to get back to that, to wrap that up, I really don't think we're going to get any transparency on that. I don't think we'll ever get all the information. I mean, they always tell us they're going to give us the information about this stuff. Like, they're like, oh, we're going to be transparent about JFK. They dropped the files and they never fucking talked about it again. Same thing with Epstein. They're going to drop some of the files, they'll redact a bunch of them, and then they'll never fucking talk about it again, and they'll act like it's a thing of the past. But realistically, it's not a thing of the past. Realistically, it was a pedophile ring that was operating on U.S. soil. It was operating on this island. All around the world, it was influencing politicians, billionaires, elites, Hollywood, all these people around the globe into engaging in pedophile activities for political blackmail and for blackmail in general, whether it's financial, political, whatever the fuck. You know, it happened. It was really awful, and the government wants to act like that's the end of it. But no, that's not the end of it. I want to see people arrested. Why is it that Donald Trump was like, guys, we're going to get the deep state, and then like, he's like, oh, we got this information showing Obama did this and it was treasonous. Okay, is Obama in jail? No. Weren't you and Obama laughing at the inauguration? Yeah. You guys are friends. This is all political theater. You don't actually give a shit about arrests. You don't give a shit about transparency. You just want to make appearances and you want to pander to your fucking retarded ass audience who doesn't want to let go of the 2016 idea of Trump. But we've already let that go, Gen Z. Gen Z is fed up with Trump. We're fed up with the lies and the bullshit. And like I made an Instagram reel about this where I was like, you know, the economy's in the toilet, people can't get jobs, white people are being replaced, they're mass murdering babies through abortion. But the biggest problem in the country right now is the Democrats. The biggest problem in the country right now is anti-Semitism. Like, that's what they want to tell you on the media, that anti-Semitism and the crazy leftists are the biggest problem in the country. How about you guys? You guys are also a fucking problem. I'm not saying there's not other problems. I'm not saying the leftists aren't fucking insane. I'm not saying that there's not other shit going on, but you guys, the GOP, you guys have sold your fucking souls, and they've been sold. But Donald Trump, specifically, you came in 2016 like a bat out of hell, and you were like, we're gonna dismantle the deep state, put America first, Americanism, not globalism, and now you're just like, you know, I'm gonna take $250 million from a woman who openly tells me she's Israel first. And then I'm gonna go up, stand on stage with Mark Levin, and he's gonna fucking little brother me with his arm around me and say that I'm the first Jewish president of all. Like, what the fuck happened? Where the fuck is this country going? What's happening to this country? This country's gone to shit. This country is literally going to shit as we speak, and nobody wants to fix it, except for the young Gen Z men who are trying to stand up and fight right now. A lot of us are concealing our power levels, trying to get into spots in the government, in DC, in the White House, on campaign staffs, and it's working. I mean, they're literally writing articles about how 40% of campaign staff in DC is groypers. Way to fucking go, fellas. Way to conceal your fucking power level. Let's go. But then beyond that, groypers are just taking over in general. I mean, they literally said the word of the year this year, and this is not even just me saying it. This is I think it was it the Washington, maybe New York Times? I don't know. One of them. Maybe it was Washington Post. I'm not 100% sure. I'll look it up later. But they said the word of the year is groyper. Like, we're fucking up, baby. We're here. We're not going anywhere. This movement is just getting fucking started. It's been around for 10 years, but it's picking up fucking steam right now. And we are coming. We are coming for Washington, D.C. We are coming to take back this country. We are going to fix America. We are not going to be replaced in our own society. Christian nationalism and American nationalism will be the new normal in America. To take money from the Israel lobby, that will be the same as what it was to denounce Israel in the past. If you denounced Israel in the past, your political career was done. In 5-10 years, if you take money from the Israel lobby, your political career will be done. Because we're informed. We've woken up to the bullshit. We're sick and tired of it. And we're not going to tolerate it anymore. We're not going to tolerate people who protect pedophiles. And it's not even just Epstein. Do you guys remember Tom Alexandrovich? We talked about this before on the show when it happened. But Tom Alexandrovich, he works directly under Bibi Netanyahu, came to Las Vegas for a security conference, got caught in a sting operation trying to meet a 15-year-old girl for sex, and then instead of arresting this person, instead of taking this person's passport, what'd they do? Gave him his passport back. He got a flight back to Israel and has not been extradited since. Has not been charged since. They had one Zoom meeting with the guy and that was fucking it. And they're protecting this guy still. He still works in the Israeli government. Nobody gives a shit, apparently. Nobody fucking cares about anything in our government. They don't care if people rape kids as long as they can keep pushing their agenda and keep protecting Israel and keep bombing Iran and keeping the military complex going on and keep collecting Social Security for boomers, but then not allowing us to get Social Security because it will all be out by then and replacing white people. That's all they give a shit about. But guys, remember, the biggest problem in this country is anti-Semitism, apparently. All these other issues, they're nothing, apparently. Nothing, guys, nothing. These other problems, they don't even matter. The fact that you can't afford a home, who cares? The fact that you can't get a job if you're a white, straight man, who gives a fuck? Anti-Semitism, guys, that's the real issue we gotta worry about. That's what they want to fucking tell you, and that's what they're acting like. They really don't give a shit about us. They don't care about the straight white Christian man in America. They don't care about the founding stock of this country. They care about themselves. I'm probably just rambling at this point about this topic, so we're going to move on. We'll go over some more of the Epstein files that actually did get released the same way we did the other day later this week. We'll try and just go through all the Epstein files again. Hopefully it doesn't take 4.5 fucking hours like last time. I had fun doing it, but it got, like, if you guys watched the whole thing, towards the end, I was crashing out on myself. I was like, what the fuck? This is getting annoying. Because a lot of the files were stupid. I mean, most of them were redacted. They redacted like 200 full pages. And a lot of them were just creepy. Like, it felt really weird to be looking at those images. Like, it gave me a really creepy feeling inside. But then Christmas happened, you know, we got a little reset there. And it was nice to take a week off. Like, I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed it. I went and saw some family for Christmas. I hope you guys were able to travel for Christmas. One cool thing that actually really happened to me, it's not the biggest thing, but this is cool to me, personal to me. Someone in my family gave me this right here, this cross, and they gave me this tie clip. The tie clip is less exciting than the cross, but I'll explain why it's cool, because this right here was my great-great-grandfather's, who I never met, but it was my great-great-grandfather's. He used to wear it every day to daily mass, and it was given to me as a gift. And it feels really cool to wear it now. It feels really cool to wear something that my great-great-grandfather wore. I think family's really important, and it was really awesome getting to see family for Christmas. I live pretty far from most of my family, so I don't see them too often. But when I do, it's really nice. You know, I like to just take the time off politics. I don't try and red pill anybody. I don't even really talk about politics. And I just spent, you know, time enjoying time with my family. It felt really good. And I hope you guys got a similar experience where you got to spend time with your family. Enjoy that time with your family. But yeah, that's just a little side note, a little sidetrack there. But I do also want to talk about some other stuff that did happen over the last week. So we had two big things happen with Clavicular. Should we talk about Clavicular or Candace first? We'll talk about Candace briefly, then we'll go to the Clavicular thing, because the Candace thing is pretty quick, actually. But Candace Owens right now is crashing the fuck out. She's having a total bitch fit, and I kind of said this would happen. I hopped off the Candace train a bit ago. Sure, I support her right to investigate the Charlie Kirk assassination, and I actually think it's good that someone's investigating it. But it doesn't mean I'm going to agree with the things she finds necessarily. It doesn't mean I'm going to agree with everything she's saying. And even Evan Kilgore is hopping off the Candace train, and he's getting so much shit for it. It's weird, because the same thing happened to me when you hop off the Candace train, and you're like, okay, this bitch is a little out of control. She's getting a little crazy here. You get the attacks from her fans, and they're all like, you're a Fed, you're a Fed, you're a Fed, you're a Fed, $7,000. It's like, you guys are retarded. The average IQ in America is 100. And a lot of you retards who are obsessed with Candace, it's showing. Your 100 IQ is showing. You're wearing it on your sleeve sometimes. But yeah, and I'm not saying every Candace supporter is retarded. I'm sure some of them are, you know, average or a little above average intelligence. But the people who believe everything she fucking says, like, come on. Do we really think Erica Kirk was behind killing the father of her children? I doubt it. Even if Erica Kirk is caught in a lie here and there, who fucking cares? I don't think she was behind the murder of her husband and the father of her children. And then beyond that, she had the Egyptian plane theory, and the entire thing fell apart because they realized that she fucked up the data. I remember when Candace was talking about attacks, and she was talking about Blitzkrieg, and she was like, Blitzkrieg. Really, bitch? Blitzkrieg? Yeah, I'll take 2 Blitzkriegs over easy. Candace. It's crazy. It's crazy that she got away with the grift for so long. It is crazy that happened. And I mean, this woman made thousands of dollars a day grifting off her friend's death. And even if they were friends, it was a grift. I mean, she could have kind of got away with a lot of those things by just not monetizing. Knowing she's already worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and, you know, the thousands don't really mean that much, but it's still a fucking grift when she's monetizing it, and she's like, and you'll find out tomorrow. Like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, come on. Let's snap back into reality, sweetheart. Let's be realistic. But yeah, the planes theory fell apart, and now she's just not even speaking about it anymore. And again, it's the same thing where she's like, she thinks every time people call her out for being wrong, she's like, you know, people, they're calling me out on this, and that means that I am right over the nail right now. That means I must be correct. It's like, no, maybe, just maybe, Candace, maybe you're retarded. You ever thought of that? Yeah, you ever thought of that? Like, Kim Kardashian thought she was smart, and then she went to a doctor, and the doctor was like, you have low brain activity. I wonder what would happen if Candace did the same thing. Would they be like, wow, you are an extremely high IQ black woman? Does anyone think that's going to happen? To all the people who are like on Candace's dick about this, doing tricks on Candace right now, but at the same time, they agree with me on like race and identity and IQ and all these things. It's like, come on, let's put 2 and 2 together. Let's really think about this. There are like no women geniuses. Is Candace the solo woman genius? Probably not. The average IQ of black Americans is like 85. Do you think Candace is that much above that line? Like, sure, maybe a little bit. Maybe she's at 100. Maybe 105, guys. Maybe 105. But do you really think Candace is the solo genius black female in this country? No, I doubt it. So I think Candace is falling off pretty hard right now, and it's pretty clear. A lot of the people who were her biggest supporters are completely abandoning her cause right now. And Evan Kilgore is taking a ton of shit about this. And I took a ton of shit about this. But again, I'm not going to change my opinion just because I'm getting shit from people. It's like, okay, you guys, you'll be welcome back eventually with apology forms. I expect your apology forms. You know, they could be in writing, email, Twitter, whatever you want to do it on. But I expect the apology forms. I was wrong about James when it came to Candace Owens. She's actually a retard. Just that sentence alone, and you're forgiven, and we'll gladly accept you back on, you know, to watch the show. But yeah, Candace, I don't know. I think this entire thing's going to shit. Is Candace ever going to figure out how Bridget McCrone decided to kill Charlie with Bridget's penis? I don't think so. I think she's going to get lost in this one completely. But with that, we'll move on to our next topic. Like I said, it's not that long of a topic, but Candace is really falling off right now, and it's kind of sad to see. It's kind of sad to see somebody who built up a lot of credibility just destroy all their credibility in one sitting. But I want to talk about this clavicular thing. Clavicular, the mogger, from one mogger to another clavicular. I see you, buddy. I see you. I see what you're doing. Looks maxing, I was born that way. I have it in my DNA. Like Mark Levin, anti-Semitism in my DNA? No, looks maxing in my DNA, baby. But, no, that was retarded. That was a retarded joke. Sorry. I try and just inject some of my own humor in the show, and sometimes it just comes off like I'm a fucking retard. Because we're all retards every now and then. We like to have fun, guys. But let's talk a little bit about this clavicular Michael Knowles thing, and then I want to talk about clavicular running over a guy. I think the running over a guy is actually kind of funny. It's a little sad at the same time, but it's kind of funny, and he's a mogger. I mean, what can we say? He's a fucking mogger. He mogs the shit out of these people. But Clavicular sat down with Michael Knowles from the Daily Wire. They had like a 2.5 hour conversation, and if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. It's fucking hilarious. Clavicular killed it on there. He mogged the entire time, and he broke down his mogging mentality. He broke down how he does it, you know, the peptides, the testosterone, the bone smashing, the leg lengthening, the jaw surgeries. And again, I don't necessarily agree with all that. While I do understand it, you know, as a guy who's just born that way, no, I'm kidding. I'm actually kind of short. But as somebody who does, like, I don't want to go get fucking leg lengthening surgery. The idea of having to learn how to walk again sounds, you know, I'd rather just be a little short. I'm cool with that. But I get why he does it. He does have a belief about it that is very true. And that belief is if you are better looking, you will do better in life. If you are better looking, it will be easier to get women. It will be easier to get jobs. You're seen as more trustworthy. You can say more controversial things, and nobody really gives a shit. And all that's true. And Clavicular explained that to Michael Knowles. And beyond that, they talked a little bit about politics. He talked about how he thinks politics is jester-like, which, again, I don't necessarily agree as someone who runs a political show, but I do understand when he was talking about, like, you know, if you're 14 and you're hyper obsessed about politics, I understand that. It's like, just be a kid at that point. But he made a couple points that Michael Knowles completely disagreed with. And one of those was they were talking about the upcoming 2028 election and the potential of JD Vance versus Gavin Newsom. And this is something we've talked about a little bit on this show. But what Clavicular said is that JD Vance is a subhuman fat sack of shit, and that Gavin Newsom fucking mogs the shit out of him. That's literally what he said, or almost verbatim, slightly off. But he was like, yeah, he mogs him to death, and JD Vance, he literally said he's a subhuman fat piece of shit. And you gotta admit, it's funny. You gotta admit, he's got some aura to him. That the entire thing is kind of fucking funny. And at the same time, that's true. And here's what I'll say. I'm not gonna vote for Gavin Newsom. And I probably won't even vote for Vance. If it comes to those two, I think it's actually our duty to withhold our votes. That we have millions of young Americans withhold their votes to send a message to the GOP. But he is right about something. That looks do matter to a degree. And all that does have a psychological effect on people. And when you see a guy who is like a little bit shorter, he was kind of fat as shit, he's not as good looking, and then you see someone like Gavin Newsom, he's got a good white looking family, even his dog's white, and then he has that same look as, who's the guy from American Psycho? Who Christian Bale played. I can't remember the character's name, but he's got that look to him, kind of, you know? He looks just like him. And he's kind of a monger. He's a good-looking fella, like, no homo. He's a good-looking guy. We can give him that. Without, like, I disagree with Gavin Newsom on almost everything. I think Gavin Newsom's a creep and a weirdo, and I think he fucked up his state. And I don't think we should be supporting him at all. But I do think we need to send a message to JD Vance and to the GOP establishment itself that we're not willing to just lay down and let them roll over us. That we're not willing to just let them prop up any candidate they want without a real primary and just say, you're gonna have this. This is gonna be the guy. This is the guy. It's like JD Vance can pander. He could talk about identity politics while he literally wrote in his book that he wanted to marry someone who was the opposite of his family, and that's why he married an Indian woman. If people don't believe that, go read his fucking book. It's in there. I've read it. But he wants to talk about identity politics. He wants to pander to us. He wants to go kiss the wall, but then call himself a Catholic. I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. And then beyond that, the Peter Thiel connections, the Silicon Valley connections. It's not good. And he wants to act like he's one of us. How many of you guys went to Yale Law School? Is he one of us? No, I didn't go to Yale Law School. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't go to fucking Yale Law School. And now, I'm not trying to call my viewers dumb, but I'm trying to say I doubt most of my viewers went to fucking Yale Law School. Maybe you went to law school, but not Yale Law School. And he was picked out of there by Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel specifically picked him out of there and made him his prop. Put him in the senator's position. Then put him in the vice president position. And then very soon he will be in the White House, potentially as the president. And this is all done by Peter Thiel, the guy who is obsessed with the Antichrist, the guy who's doing a 4-part series around the country about the Antichrist. That's what we need, right, guys? We need someone in the White House who's obsessed with the Antichrist. I mean, that's going to save this country. It's absolutely insane the way this country's trending, but Clav talked about all that on the... I got sidetracked. I was talking about Clav. Clav talked about all that on the show with Michael Knowles when they were going over the looks maxing and when they were going over how JD Vance kind of gets mogged by Gavin Newsom. And again, I think it just proves a bigger point where, and again, Nick Fuentes made this point as well, and I want to reiterate it, but Nick Fuentes posted a post where he showed, where he gave the quote from Clavicular on the podcast where he says that he mogs him to death, he's a fat piece of shit, etc. And then all the Bronze Age pervert guys were like, no, we need to vote for JD Vance. We can't let the left win. But those were all the same guys who were obsessed with like looks and genetics and saying like only the superior and only, this group of people and etc., can be in power. But then when it comes to actually seeing that in practice, they're like, no, we can't do that. And it just kind of shows the hypocrisy of a lot of different groups. And I thought that was interesting. Nick brought that point up, and I really thought it was a good point that I wanted to reiterate on the show. But I want to talk a little bit more about something that happened with Clav. And again, this isn't like national news or headlines, but it does have to do with some other things we see in the country, and that's why I think it's important to bring up. But Clav was driving home one night in his Cybertruck when a stalker who approached him earlier in the night came up to him while he was driving and jumped on the hood of his car. And this guy is a gangbanging douchebag, filled with tattoos, has pictures with like money on his arm, tattoos, and like pistols pointing at the camera. The guy's a waste of fucking life, essentially. But Clavicular, after this guy jumps on his car, floors it. And this guy gets run over. And then Clavicular gets stopped by the cops. Aiden Ross sends his fucking lawyers to go help. Aiden Ross came in with the Jew lawyers, and they helped out Clavicular. And Clavicular, it's possible he gets charged. It's possible he walks. We don't really know. Right now, he is free. He didn't even officially get arrested, to my knowledge. But Clavicular ran over this guy, and it brought up a big debate. Was this okay, or was this not? And even James Fishback came to the defense of Clavicular, which I actually really liked, because I'm going to defend Clavicular as well over this. If I'm ever driving and someone jumps on the hood of my car and threatens me or says some vaguely threatening shit, I am going to go 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, and I am going to do whatever the fuck I have to do to get out of there. And if you get ran over in the process, fuck around, find out. Natural selection at that point. And again, especially like, I don't have a Cybertruck. I have a normal Tesla. One of the poor people. No, I'm kidding. Teslas are nice. But I have the cheapest Tesla possible. He has a Cybertruck. Imagine getting ran over by that fucking thing. Imagine trying to fuck with someone in a bulletproof car. But yeah, Clavicular ran over this guy, and it started the debate. Can you run over people who are in the middle of the street trying to disrupt you from driving, getting where you're going, stalking you, harassing you, etc.? And I tend to think, yes, you can 100% do that. That it's not bad to, you know, like if your car is, and Ron DeSantis made this point, he even made it legal in Florida to do this. That's why I think Clavicular will end up being fine in this entire thing. But if your car gets surrounded by a mob, or people are sitting in the middle of the road blocking you on the highway, Ron DeSantis, from his own mouth, said you can just run them over. And again, I don't think violence is okay. I don't think we should aim for violence. I don't think we should ever aim to hurt people. But if people are trying to hurt you, disrupt you, are trying to stalk you, harass you, sit in front of your car, sit on your car as you're trying to drive, again, that's natural fucking selection at that point. And you asked for that. That's your fucking fault if you get ran over in that scenario. Like, if I jumped on someone's car as they're driving and they ended up running over me, I would be a retard to blame the guy who ran over me. I would be an absolute fucking retard to blame that person. So I hope Clav gets proven innocent. I hope he doesn't even have to deal with a real legal ordeal. And then I saw a couple people who were like, I'll pay for the civil suit against Clavicular. And it's like, you guys are pieces of shit. Like, if someone did this to you and your family was in the car, or someone did this to you, you would do the exact same fucking thing. But you pricks want to act like you're so fucking high and mighty that you would not do what you have to do to protect yourself. A lot of people would have, like, shot the person. A lot of people, like, especially in Florida, they would have pulled out a pistol and they would have defended themselves in their personal property, which they would have the right to do. It's a stand-your-ground state. But no, Clavicular chose to just drive away, and the guy happened to fall under the fucking tire. That's that guy's fucking fault. I don't see how anyone can make a counter-argument to that. So that's the Clavicular segment. Again, there's not a ton to talk about with that beyond that, but I do want to keep going on with the show. I feel my voice I haven't done a show in a while, so I'm still just getting back into it, warming up. Get another sip of water. We're going to the next topic. Let's see, what do we talk about next? Do we want to talk about the, let's talk about the Minnesota daycare fraud, and then we'll go into the Joe Rogan and the article I did quotes for, and then we'll get to the comments at the end of the show. Hope everyone's enjoying the show so far. I fucking missed I miss doing the show. Like, I took the week off. Not really a full week, like 6 days, but I did a show Monday, Tuesday, and I said I was going to do a show Friday or Saturday. My flight kept getting delayed. I didn't get back till late. I was so tired, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to rest. We'll come back. We'll do a strong show Monday, and we're fucking here, baby. America, we are so fucking back. We are so fucking back, baby. But Minnesota fraud, again, is anyone shocked by this, that a state run by Tim Walz is fucking ridden with fraud? That the guy who changed the flag to a Somali flag, essentially, is allowing his state to be defrauded for millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars? But here, let me pull this up for you guys, and we'll go over it. We're not going to watch the full thing, obviously. It's a 40-something minute video. But let's see. Let me get it pulled up here. And Tim Walz's response to this, by the way, was to call the investigation white supremacy. It's absolutely retarded. There's no truth and honesty anymore. But let's watch this quick video. This is of I think his name is Nick Shirley. And again, I haven't done a ton of research into this. I've watched the original video, the 42-minute long video, where he exposes that there's hundreds of daycares in Minnesota that are run by Somalians, or daycares. I'll put them in air quotes, because they're not real. They're these made up. They have a sign on a building. The words are spelled wrong. Like, they had one where it was like Leering Institute, or like Leering, like they forgot the N in learning. Like, they're retarded, these people. They're so fucking stupid. But they investigated this, and they found out that there's tons of these daycares and, schools and whatever that are saying that they're teaching kids, that they're watching kids all day, and they're taking millions of dollars in funding from the taxpayers in Minnesota. And then this person went daycare to daycare and found out there's no kids at any of them. They're all just fake. The building might be there, but they're always empty, and they have blacked out windows, and nobody's fucking there ever. So we're going to watch this quick 1 minute, 47-second video. This is a Fox News clip. Not the biggest Fox News guy, but I thought this clip was decent, so we're going to watch it really quick.
This is what happens when they target communities for their own benefit. This is what happens when they scapegoat. And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy.
So it sounds to me, Nick, that Governor Tim Walz is saying that you and others that are out there trying to expose this, you're doing it because you're white supremacists. What is your response to him?
Yeah, Tim wants votes. There are entire apartment complexes where white people have been pushed out of these apartment complexes because Somalians have taken over, and they're inside of these towns like Minneapolis, where they can go get votes from these people. And if you have 100,000 people that will vote for you because you're going to enable and let this stuff happen, and because you're going to call a white person racist for calling out facts, this is what's going to happen to a state like Minnesota. Minnesotans, they say Minnesota nice, but they are very upset. And I fully understand why they're upset, because they don't have a governor who's actually working for them. He's actually working against them.
Nick, your video's been viewed 93 million times. What do you think will be the result of this? Do you think that things will change because of bringing attention to this, or do you think it'll be much the same, swept under the rug and keep moving forward?
Yeah, there better be change. People are demanding it. The investigations have been launched just from that video alone. And so there better be change, because, like I said, we work way too hard to be paying taxes. We work way too hard to be not knowing where our money's going. And at the end of the day, the people in the government, they work for us. We don't work for them. And so it's their responsibility to hold these people accountable. And so if there's not something that's happened, people are going to be very frustrated. And so if President Trump's watching this, it's time to really get down to nitty gritty and to make a difference in this place of Minnesota that is pretty much like Somaliland right now.
And while this is happening, you'd think Donald Trump would be focused on this. But no, what's Donald Trump doing? He's meeting with Bibi fucking Netanyahu. Absolutely insane. But like I said, what this guy did is he went daycare to daycare, and he exposed the massive fraud that is these Somali daycare facilities that also explicitly say on a lot of their websites that they're teaching their Somalian language. They're not teaching English to these kids. They're speaking in their native language in America. Absolutely unacceptable. And none of these Somalians are real Americans to me. I actually think we should deport every Somalian, even if they do have legal status, even if they are naturalized citizens. We need to get them the fuck out of this country. You can't import the entire third world into this country and expect it to be better. And I saw Kai Schwemmer make this point. It's like, when you're taking in immigrants from a country, one of the metrics you should look at is traveling and things like that. It's like, if we don't have people traveling to this place as like a destination, if a lot of people aren't immigrating to this place, why would we bring those people over here? Because like, how many Americans do you know who go to Somalia for a vacation or who go to Somalia to go check it out? None, because it's a fucking shithole. It's a shithole filled with shithole people. People who are corrupt, people who commit crimes, who murder, who rape, who engage in child rape. And we bring those people into America because woke, liberal, douchebag Democrats think it's the right thing to do, think we're being great people because of it, and they want to like weaponize Christianity against us, even though this was awesome too. The Pope was like, you guys take me out of context. I never said we shouldn't have borders. Based. Let's go, Pope. Let's go, Pope. I see you. I see you, baby. I see what you're doing. Yeah, he's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Borders? We have them. The Bible, it talks about them. He told the reporters to suck his dick right there on the spot, basically. The Pope, based. And we don't need Somalians in this country. Like, how do Somalians benefit America? How do these people who speak this heebie-jeebie-ass, bullshit-ass language benefit Americans? How do they help us? How do they make this country better? How is it making America great again to bring in Somalians, to bring in 600,000 Chinese spies, to bring in immigrants from all over the country? We're literally naturalizing more citizens than we are deporting illegals. That's the state of our current immigration in America. Donald Trump is like, we're so good on immigration. We're making America great again. Really? Are we? Are we making America great again? Or are we making it great for immigrants? Are we just building this country around more immigrants who don't belong here, who don't assimilate here, who don't speak our language, who rape our kids and women, who stab our women on trains, burn them alive on trains? Is that really making America great? No, I don't think so. I think this country is going to shit in a lot of ways. And like I have talked about a lot before, the great replacement is real. They are replacing us in our own country. Since 2012 or so, the white births and the minority births are about 50-50. And white people are really not having enough kids. White people are the majority of the population, but they're still even in births with the minority. And that needs to change. White people need to have more kids. Not only do white people need to have more kids, if we're going to bring in immigrants, they should be high IQ European ones. And then beyond that, we can't just bring in the entire third world and expect America to stay a first world country. No, we're going to become a third world country. And again, my final point with it is, if you want to really fix affordability, because Trump loves to say that affordability is not a problem right now, you cannot bring in more people into the country. More people taking up houses, more people taking up government services, more people abusing Social Security, more people abusing all these social systems. You can't have it. It's just not going to work. And you literally have classrooms where there are teachers who openly talk about not being able to communicate with a lot of their students because their students don't speak English and their parents don't teach it in the home. Like, why are people living in America if they don't speak English? I really question why you're here. Why not go back to the country that speaks your fucking language? And if you're going to say, oh, because I love America, it gives me these opportunities. Okay, then respect America. Learn our fucking language. Don't be on the road if you don't speak our language. Don't even be in our country if you don't speak our language. I don't fucking want you here. I want high IQ Americans. I want the most elite human capital to be the people coming into this country. I do not want Somalians. I don't want anyone from the Middle East, Uganda. I don't want the Chinese spies. I don't want people from Venezuela and South America. I want high IQ European immigrants, if anything. I don't even want immigrants at all. But if we are going to take some high IQ European descent immigrants, is that too much to fucking ask for, Trump? And I thought that was the policy. I remember like a couple months ago, we did a show and we were like, guys, I know we're against immigration, but Trump said we're only going to bring in the high IQ white ones based. And I was cool with it. But then after that, he was like, 600,000 Chinese spies. And Howard Lutnick was like, it's imperative to the success of America that we have the 600,000 Chinese spies. And then they're like, you know what? Somalians, they're great. And maybe Trump didn't say that. Trump calls Somalia a shithole, which it is. And I like that. But that's, again, just pandering. That's Trump realizing that his approval rating went to 38%. And he's like, maybe I can get it up another 5 to 10% if I call Somalia a shithole and call Ilhan Omar a bitch. And that's what he did. And it worked. And a lot of people just fell for it. And it's like, yeah, I like the post. Did it make me laugh a little bit? Sure. Who gives a shit? But does it mean that I believe that Trump's going to do anything about it? No. Look at Minnesota. Look at all these counties and look at these states that are filled with immigrants and filled with third world immigrants who are just, again, raping people, killing people, stealing, looting, not assimilating at all. And that goes for any group that refuses to assimilate to America. That goes to any single group that refuses to assimilate. Yeah, that's what's happening in Minnesota. Again, we'll report more on that in the future as more details come on that and if the government actually decides to fucking do anything about it. But I doubt. Again, nothing ever happens. Every time something like this, it's like the nothing ever happens, Chud. The nothing ever happens meme becomes more realistic every time because nothing ever fucking happens. They do nothing to help us. They do nothing, but like they'll pander to us every now and then when the ratings are down, but we're never going to get any real fucking change until we are the ones in power. That's, again, why I reiterate Nick's point of conceal your power level. Get into staffing positions. Get into government. Get into DC jobs. Get into the political roles themselves. Conceal your most controversial views and work your way up into politics. It is the way we actually take this country back. With that, I do want to get into our last few topics. I want to talk a little bit about this Joe Rogan, Shane Gillis conversation where they talked about Nick Fuentes. And let me show you guys a clip of it, and then we'll talk about it. That seems like the better way to go about it, but it's a quick, less than 2-minute clip. Let's go over to it right here. And then after this, we'll go over the article, and then we will go to our comments.
Do for war.
You'd think we'd have more presidents. The Catholics.
Yeah, they only had one.
Biden,
right?
too.
Oh, Biden's Catholic.
We got Biden.
Allegedly.
True. We only got one. He got shot, and then Biden was doing auto sign. Give us a good one.
Yeah. You got anybody in mind?
Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes? He could probably win in a few years.
Hold on, let's talk.
Listen, he couldn't have existed before, right? 10, 20 years ago, couldn't have existed. Now, super popular. What's 20 years from now look like? You know, maybe someone like that can win.
Well, we'll see.
I got to pee so bad. We got to wrap this up anyway.
I'm down.
4:18.
We got that one at the buzzer.
Yeah. Well, listen, I will say this about it. It's fascinating to watch that there's like a whole group of people that feel very unrepresented in the world. And especially like young men. And here you got this young guy with a very high verbal IQ. Mm-hmm. And he also does a lot of shit posting, a lot of talking shit, a lot of trolling, says women shouldn't be allowed to vote, says wild shit. And that Piers Morgan thing is like, bro, that was like an expert sparring with someone who thought they were an expert.
Sure.
Like they're playing two totally different games.
And it's also the thing that people try to get Fuentes on is that he's still funny as fuck.
It's funny.
So that's where you're in a lot of trouble.
When he hits him, do you think you made jokes about the Holocaust? He goes, too soon? Like, dude. Yeah. And you could see
he's wild.
You could see Piers going, oh fuck.
Bro, when he was like, me mom died. I was like, holy shit.
Bro, he got hit.
Me mom died in the hole.
He got hit with a missile on that one. Too soon? Too soon, I was like, oh my God.
I don't know if this.
Yeah, so again, it's not a full endorsement, but he is saying that he does think he has a legitimate chance. And I really do think Nick Fuentes on Joe Rogan is inevitable. I think the generational run of 2025, it's over now. Nick Fuentes announced that he's taking a couple-week break from his show. He's going to take he said he had a generational run, now he needs a generational vacation. And honestly, he deserves it. After everything he's done this year, exploding on a show, going on all these different shows, really blowing up and becoming the mainstream, he deserves it. But I really do think sometime in 2026, we are going to get Nick Fuentes and Joe Rogan, and I do think it will be one of the most watched things of all time. I think the only thing that could be more intriguing to watch would be if Ben Shapiro and Nick Fuentes sat down for a debate. I think that's the only way you actually get something more entertaining than that. So I do think it's going to happen, and I do think when Joe and Nick actually meet each other, that Joe will really be fond of him. I really think he'll like him a lot. I think he'll actually agree with him more than he thinks, even though Joe is sometimes liberal about a lot of issues. I really do think that Nick will be able to convince Joe of a lot of his points, and I doubt Joe Rogan has watched much more than the clips. I doubt he's watching like full streams. I'm sure he watched the Piers Morgan thing, but I doubt he watches like the America First show. But I think when he actually hears Nick talk out his points at length, in like a 3-hour, 4-hour discussion the way Joe Rogan does it, I really think the tides will really turn in this country. And they are already starting to turn. Like I said, Nick is becoming the mainstream. He is the mainstream now. But when he gets that Joe Rogan appearance, it's inevitable. America First, it's inevitable. It cannot be stopped at that point. But I do want to go over our last thing I want to talk about, which is this article. It was written, not about me, but it was written about Israel and United States relations. It was written about how Gen Z specifically feels about Israel. And someone reached out to me from this website. It is AmericanLibertyMedia.com. And they asked me, can you give quotes? Can we ask you these questions? And we put the quotes in the article. And I was like, sure. And I want to read that article with you guys right now for the very first time. I just got it pulled up here. Let me put it on the big screen. I'm probably going to have to resize it here, I'd imagine. It's different size than the other one. Give me one sec. Let's see. All right, there we go. But AmericanLibertyMedia.com. I checked out their website. I like it a lot so far. They have some very good takes. Very informed guys, it seems like. So we're going to read this article. I'll read it in full for you guys. It says, why Israel is becoming a flashpoint for the GOP's young voters. For decades, American support for Israel has been near universal among elected officials, and a supermajority of voters in both major parties have expressed support for the American-Israel alliance. Within the Republican Party, backing Israel has been reinforced by evangelical Christian voters who see it as both strategic and theological. With younger generations becoming a more prominent part of the electorate, the once universal support for Israel is changing fast. Young voters are becoming increasingly delusioned with the major parties, and a lot of that has to do with the issue of Israel. This article is meant to dive into the way a lot of young voters, particularly young men, think on this topic, because it's important to understand where they're coming from if Republicans want to keep their support in the next few elections. Even discussing this topic has become a third rail for politicians and political commentators. When Tucker Carlson recently pressed Texas Senator Ted Cruz on his unconditional support for Israel, many in the Republican Party lambasted Carlson as anti-Semitic. Young millennials and Gen Z voters, this suggested that there's something behind the metaphorical curtain that we're not allowed to talk about. To explore this perspective, I spoke with James Pascalides, let's go, the host of the popular right-wing podcast, America Unfiltered. Oh, he linked it in there too. Thank you, buddy, if you're watching. Thank you for linking it in there. Hell yeah, let's go. James, in his mid-20s, and has been very vocal on his show about wanting to keep foreign influence out of American politics. Let's go. Namely Israel, and he provided insight into why this is an important issue for young voters. It's about what we can and can't talk about. If you go back 10 years ago, you couldn't really talk about black crime, and you couldn't really talk about transgender politics, Pascalides points out, but the only issue that you still can't talk about is the Israel topic. This drives young people to believe there might be something sinister going on behind the scenes. Whether there's something there or not, it sparks curiosity, and the taboo nature of this political topic in particular isn't helping Republican lawmakers regain the trust of young men who voted overwhelmingly for the GOP in the last election. Pascalides argues that attempts to shut down debate only deepen disengagement. Oh yeah, they do. What's in our DNA is that we want to speak freely, Pascalides says. We want to be able to use our voices, and we are unwilling to be silenced. So when you tell a group of young people that it's one of the only issues that you can't openly talk about without your fear of being labeled anti-Semitic, I think it pushes even more people to want to be vocal about it, and it makes it a bigger issue than it's ever been. Contrasting this perspective with that of older GOP voters, I also spoke with a Republican candidate for Texas state legislature who asked to remain anonymous. What a pussy. What a pussy. Asked to remain anonymous? No balls on you, sir. The candidate, a man in his late 50s, articulated a view still common among GOP primary voters and party leadership. He said his support for Israel is rooted in his Christian faith and cited Genesis 12:3, which states, "I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." Really quick, or let me finish this other paragraph, and then I'll give a side note. "I'm a Christian, and I know the verse in Genesis 12:3 where it says, 'The Lord will bless those who bless Israel.'" The candidate said, "I want the Lord's blessing, so I'm 100% behind Israel. I won't apologize for that." First of all, I want to say you're a pussy for remaining anonymous, whoever this, Texas Republican candidate? Dude, you're a pussy. Grow a fucking ball sack. Second of all, that's weaponized against you. Like, are you a real Christian? Because if you're a real Christian, you believe the New Testament supersedes the Old Testament. But no. You're just a pandering little bitch. That's what I bet. I bet you're a pandering pussy. Whoever this candidate is, you're probably not watching my show. But if anyone can get this clip to him, tell him that I called him a pussy and that I would love to openly debate him. And not only would I debate him, I would mog the fuck out of him. I would mog the shit out of you. And then it goes, notably, Gen Z is more likely to attend church than previous generations, with young men attending church more often than any other demographic. Way to go, boys. These same individuals are mentally separating the modern-day nation of Israel from the Israelites in the Bible, and are much more willing to question whether sending American weapons and tax dollars to fund the government of Israel is in America's best interest. They see organizations like AIPAC as acting on behalf of a foreign government. And Trump's foreign policy of sending weapons and aid to other countries is contradictory to the America First agenda he campaigned on. Yep. Donald Trump isn't really taking us seriously, and that he's not taking the youth of America seriously who really wanted to see the 2016 Trump, Pascalides commented. Let's go. With male voters under 30 breaking from Trump a 3-2 margin in 2024, Republicans need to be aware of how fragile that support may be on the national scale. Pascalides provided some insights into the coming election, saying, It's clear that the right has split up into multiple fractions. Now, I think the America First side is the side that will probably gain the most influence, easily. Polling over the last 3 years shows a sharp increase in negative sentiment towards Israel among millennials and Gen Z Republicans, while older voters remain overwhelmingly supportive. The electoral consequences of this divide may begin to surface as early as the 2026 midterms, but several young conservatives argue the larger impact will be felt in 2028. I don't think you're really going to be turning a lot of Republicans into Democrats, Pascalides predicts, but I do think there will be a massive amount of Republicans who normally would have voted for the Republican candidate, and they might refrain from voting if the only options they have are right-wing candidates who did take money from the Israel lobby. The sentiment is echoed by young conservatives across the country. Young men may never vote Republican again, said Michael McGregor, a Texas voter in his 20s. Michael McGregor, a guy in his 20s, has more balls than the GOP Texas candidate. The guy who runs the fucking, who's the Texas candidate, this is you. Fucking Michael McGregor just putting it on the fucking line. What a beast. Not afraid to give his name. You should conceal your power level, but still, I commend you. You're a fucking beast for that. Let's see, where was I? We're not going to vote Democrat, but we were promised that Trump would put America first. Instead, we have the Republican Party sending our money to Israel while we can't afford a home in our own country. Polling suggests McGregor's frustration reflects a broader generational shift. A recent national GOP poll found that a majority of Republicans under 45 would prefer a candidate who supports reducing U.S. weapons aid to Israel in a 2028 Republican primary. 51% of respondents under 45 said they favored reducing aid, compared to just 27% who said they would prefer maintaining or increasing it. The results point to a growing disconnect between younger Republican voters and long-standing party positions on Israel. Ultimately, this boils down to a few main ideas. Young people care about this issue, and they care about it a lot. It's not about Israel itself, but it's about the political elites in America telling young people that this issue is off limits, which only only divides them to think something nefarious is going on. Mix in the fact that the government continues to send aid overseas while younger generations are struggling to afford the American dream here at home, and it's a natural reaction. Young voters aren't going to stick around in the GOP if they don't feel heard and if their issues are being ignored or shut down. Young voters voted for America first. They're not feeling like that promise has been fulfilled, and they might stay at home for the next election. And if it's JD Vance versus Gavin Newsom, I might ask you guys, again, I can't force you guys to do anything. I can't hold you guys hostage, but I will most likely give my input to say stay home unless there's a massive change, which I don't see happening. Unless JD Vance completely disavows Israel and the Israel lobby, I really don't see myself voting, and I really see myself telling a lot of people, especially the young people, like this, my show, I get the analytics on the show. I think like 90% of my viewers are men, and primarily young men between the ages of like 15 and 40 or so. You know, we have some people older than that, but mainly in that area. I'll tell those people not to fucking vote. We will withhold our votes. But that's the article. Came out really well. So if you're watching, for you guys over at American Liberty Media who wrote this, thank you for reaching out for quotes. I was very honored to give them to you guys. It's really awesome, and I love the way the article came out. They even have their X account linked in their bio. Actually, no, that's not. That goes to just posting about the article. Let's see. Do they have an X account? Let me look it up. Because if they have an X account, I want to share it. You know, I like these guys. They wrote a good article. Let's see. Let's see. I'm looking it up really quick. If I can't find it right now, I'll reach out to them and ask them if they have one. Yeah, I can't really find it. I'll ask them if they have one. If they have one, I'll share it on tomorrow's show. But I want to support these guys however I can because they went out of their way to write this. And I think it's a good article. I think it really highlights some important things. But with that, that's going to be the entire show. The last thing I really want to say before we get into our comments is just a reminder, the breaking news I said in the beginning of the show, we are having James Fishback, the candidate for Florida governor, on the show on the 1-year anniversary of the show on January 6th, 2026. We'll be doing a live show that day, and then the VOD, the video on demand, will be uploaded to all platforms after. If you guys have any questions you want me to ask him, DM me, add me on X, send me a message on X or Instagram, comment it on the show, whatever it is, as long as it's not a retarded question, I will ask it. I will not hold anything back. I think I have 1 hour of his time, and I'm going to try and make it a very productive hour. I have some questions I already want to ask him, but if you guys have any questions you want asked, let me know, please. But with that, let's get into our fucking comments. Let's go right for it. We'll start off with our YouTube comments, and then we will go over to our Spotify comments. That's where the vast majority of all the comments are. Let's see. Let's see. Where is he? All right, here we go. Starting here, let's go. Let's read the comments. First one going up right now. And again, before we do this real quick, please remember to like, smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. Join our Telegram channel, follow me on X, rate the show 5 stars on Spotify. You guys know the drill already.
James Fishback is definitely not a real person.
I met him. He is real.
I could be wrong, but Fishback sounds J.
He said he's a cradle Catholic.
He looks like it too.
I could see that a little bit. He does look a little bit, but he claimed he's a cradle Catholic, so maybe we'll talk about that more with him. Let's see. Next comment. Thank you for your comment.
I may need to look deeper into his past. Less than 2 years ago you're promoting a Bari Weiss book on anti-Semitism, and now you're an America First candidate. Nice try, Fed. Beardson Beardley X account.
Yeah, Beardson ended up giving him the endorsement, though. So, my dog just started crying. She's looking at something out the window. Don't worry, it's okay, Delta. You don't have to cry. This is actually something I'm going to talk to him about on the, what the fuck just happened? I just clicked the link. This is a question that I'm definitely going to ask him when I interview him. Someone brought this point up. I'm trying to fucking get this comment to read. Ugh, fucking hate my computer sometimes. If you hear my dog crying, just ignore it. He's crying at something out the window right now.
I asked the question about his partner Asaf. I didn't notice this in the moment, but James said he didn't know that about Asaf in regards to being campus president of Timid at U Miami. But when I clarified about 5 minutes later when he met him, and asked him about the speaking engagement he did with Asaf, he said I spoke to some alpha group, Timid, which means he knew about Timid, but initially claimed he had no idea about that. Chat, we're cooked.
I'm definitely going to press him on that. I'll ask him about that for sure, because I do find that a little weird.
Who is this guy Asaf?
It was his business partner for like a month. Someone goes, is this you in this video? I already watched the video. No, it's not me, but I'll put the video up for you guys for a second.
White boy summer every day. My name is...
Let's see. How do I...
White boy summer every day. My name is Justin. I like...
He goes, my name's Justin. It literally says America Unfiltered with James on the show. No, it's not me. Let's see. Next comment.
Hey mate, hope all has been well with you and your family. Really loved the content this year. Just wanted to wish you and your family a happy Christmas. Also, my newly baptized girlfriend is joining us for Christmas Eve Mass tonight. Love from England.
Let's go. That's awesome. I'll pray for you and your relationship. That's awesome. She got baptized. Hope you had a Merry Christmas as well. I had a great Christmas. Thank you.
America first.
Fuck yeah, America first. And this guy has a name that insinuates he went to West Virginia, which is where I went. So I asked him, and he goes,
At America Unfiltered show. Yes sir, hopefully we can get back to winning. Keep up the great content.
cheers, beers, Mountaineers. Horns down, bitch. Let's go. We love West Virginia.
If he does not become governor, how can America First Groypers bring him into the movement? What type of position would he fill?
Maybe he could fund some candidates. I don't know. Someone put another video and they go, this is why I would never date the average white girl these days. Let's see what this video is.
Have you ever...
It's a whatever podcast clip. Let's see.
Ever slept with someone the same day you met them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is the quickest?
Probably like a good couple hours.
Couple hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
12 hours?
Say 1-2 hours. One day.
Anyone here ever had a threesome?
A few.
Threesome or more?
Yeah. I can't remember.
Like how big was it?
I've had a couple threesomes and I've had a one lesbian 5-way. So
I have had a threesome one time.
How about this? Has anyone here up with 2 guys in the 24-hour period?
actually, yeah. Surprised myself a ton.
Even 3. Yeah.
3 in the 24 hour?
Yeah.
Have you...
Yeah, that's disgusting. I mean, that applies to just most Gen Z girls, not just the white ones, but yeah, I see what you're going for there. Let's see, you gave another video. Is that video even still there? Let's see. Let's try and get it pulled up.
Look at him.
It's a Charlie Kirk video.
You gotta come up here. Come up here. Come up here. Come up here. Get over the gate. Come over the gate. Look at this guy here. Look at this. Yeah. Right up to the...
What, he brings up the token black guy in the crowd?
Mike. You stand for me, we good. Wait, I only stand up for white... What, is that a white man? Can you look at him, please? Look at him.
I already...
Is that a white man?
A fist bump.
Is that a white man? You said I only stand up for white men. He's got dreads.
Are you... They look nice, too. They do look nice.
But you
this
just
video
libeled...
before. I don't need to watch it again. Again, I like Charlie Kirk. I disagreed with him on a lot, but I like him.
Promising children $sign for a house or a business sounds good at first, but it's a recipe for disaster if they don't make enough to pay a mortgage, or they are ignorant of the laws and insurance governing businesses in Florida, not to mention the headache of overseeing the implementation and fairness, etc.
No, I actually think it's a good plan.
When do you think Jay Collins will announce he is running?
I don't know. Send him an email, maybe. What? Jay Collins, he's the guy running in Florida, right? Lieutenant Governor of Florida. Did he say he's going to announce his candidacy soon? I don't know. I'll look into that more. I'll get back to you. All right, that's I think all the YouTube comments. Maybe I did I miss any? No, I don't think I missed any. I think I got them. I don't know. YouTube's fucking weird about showing me the comments. Let's go over to Spotify. This is where the majority of the comments are. Buckle in, folks.
Who TF is this wannabe Nick Fuentes Lamau?
I'm James Pascalides, bitch.
Bias bullshit.
Suck my dick. What's bias? Again, you're vague.
After the BBC dedicated a whole 5 minutes to the new release, I went looking for something long form.
Yeah, the BBC did a 5-minute breakdown on the Epstein files. I went through every fucking single one on this show. BBC sucks, BBC.
Destroy her, Nick. Let's go party face with a party horn, hat, and confetti.
Yeah, Nick's based. Let's see. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna rip through a lot of these.
What are your thoughts on Hispanic people who vote red? Very Christian, speak English as a first language and full assimilate to America and American culture?
I like them as long as they realize that they will not be allowed to be the majority of this country and that white Americans will stay the majority. As long as they're cool with that, I really don't care.
Stumbled across your show from searching Nick Fuentes interviews. Learning everything about Israel and their relationship to our country these last few years has been so saddening and discouraging for me. People like Fuentes and yourself who aren't afraid to fight against the powers that be are crucial to the future of this great country. America first. America only. God bless America.
Well, thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Yeah, we got to keep fighting. We need more people using their voices, more people standing up to the oligarchy that is organized Jewry.
Hearing Erica talk, I just don't feel it. I think I could listen to her parrot whatever I believe and instantly doubt myself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have a few different reads on her. I go back and forth about it.
Definitely not my type of pod. You're obviously a young privileged racist and need to learn how to cohabitate with people that live this country. People like Ilhan Omar is the example of someone who's not an American and needs to leave. But you, my friend, are a POS and certainly not a conservative. Get a real job, kid.
You're right, I'm not a conservative. I'm America fucking first. And saying I'm privileged, dude, I'm in fucking debt. I don't even have health insurance. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't know shit. I'm privileged.
Nothing is wrong with being privileged. Not his fault. His parents worked hard to give him a good childhood and set him up for life. Instead of blaming him for being privileged, why don't you blame your parents for not giving you that same privilege? Also, every single person on this planet is racist. It is an inherent trait. But it seems like white men are the only people who are demonized for being racist. America first. America always. Flag of the United States. Flag of the United States. We need to stop apologizing for who we are.
I agree with the second part of what you said, but just I like that you're trying to defend me, but I am not. And again, you're right. There really is nothing wrong with being privileged as long as you're not a douche about it. But yeah, dude, I'm poor. Like, I am poor as shit. I don't make much money from this. I am poor. And definitely not your type of pod. Okay, don't fucking listen. I don't care. You won't be missed.
If the people at the top are corrupt and using it for a ZO and fed up, then there's no point thinking it will turn into America first. Let them fight it out just to destroy it, since it's better destroyed than being misused. The truth will win over because they did the takeover in such a sloppy manner with too many glaring inconsistencies.
Yeah, I think to bring a lot of it down, we have to show them we're willing to not vote. That's a big part of it.
Do you not realize all politicians are the same? You must feel embarrassed voting for Trump.
I do feel embarrassed that I voted for Trump. I've openly talked about that a lot.
How about the Hanukkah candles on Christmas Day NFL football? Slap in our faces, Mach?
Yeah, there was 8 days of Hanukkah, and a lot of NFL took place in those 8 days. They could have done it those days.
Only a communist would say what's the big deal with celebrating Judaism on Christianity's birthday. Plus you and Fiddle keep saying how chosen you are and how we should be your slaves, but your resume is literally full of child porn, blackmail, 9/11s, bullshit wars and lending money at interest and plundering countries. People are waking up. Delete your account while you can, Christian. Hurry, bro.
W Rogue? W Rogue?
I'm Puerto Rican. How many times do I have to tell you this? You exaggerate how supportive of Jewish people I am. I just respect them more than Muslims for biblical reasons, and almost all of those very powerful Jews you mention are atheists.
Dude, for biblical reasons just means you're indoctrinated.
You are also constantly citing verses of the Talmud. Honestly, I don't know jack shit about the Talmud, but even those extreme verses rarely influence the way the average Jewish person I've seen thinks. Many of them are figurative, much like the one in the Bible about the synagogue of Satan. Actually, I don't know anything about the Talmud, but I am well versed in the Bible. I don't believe they are God's chosen people, but I also don't think that we should single them out as if they were worse.
Well, at one time they were God's chosen people, but then again, New Covenant happened. They are not anymore. We are all equal under God. You should learn a little bit about the Talmud, because what it says about Jesus Christ and Christians is awful.
The reason I say what is the big deal is because it's not like they replaced Christmas with Hanukkah. I think they did it multi-faith or something, and my questioning has more broadly to do with questioning why you seem so obsessed with Jews.
These guys are just fighting.
You are like a retarded brother I have to beat up in order for you to have a chance at life. Just trying to help. But it's not bullies you have to look out for. It's God and His will. There is validity to my points whether you see it or not. That's up to you, but we all answer to God one day, won't we?
W Rogue. Rogue W's.
The issue is you are basing this off a 1,000-year-old religious doctrine which was discredited 60 years ago by the Catholic Church and other religious institutions.
What are you even fucking talking about? And then Fidel goes...
Did I miss something?
Yeah, Fidel, you missed the argument. Yeah, Fidel. And then Christian and Fidel love to comment. I don't mind it. They love it.
Have you ever met Nick?
And then Fidel goes...
Good question.
I have not met Nick, no, but I have talked to him multiple times. Through Telegram.
Merry Christmas, James. Hope y'all had a good one. Question. What is your opinion on Chud the Builder? Have you heard of him?
No, who is Chud the Builder? But thank you for the Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. I see a lot of stuff about it. I'll check him out after. But no, I haven't heard of him until you just mentioned him.
Merry Christmas, James. Hope to hear more from you in 2026. Thumbs up with light skin tone.
Thumbs up with light skin tone. Let's go, white boys up. Merry Christmas, James. Yeah, thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. You're over in South Africa, I think, so Merry Christmas to you over there. Stay safe, buddy. Thank you.
Who are you even?
I'm James Pascalides, bitch. Who the fuck are you?
I'm in school so I can't right now, but I think we should be promoting getting jobs as ICE agents. It pays well and fights demographic change. You could also probably get laid if you arrested someone hot.
Second point's retarded, about getting laid. Like, again, this is a mainly Catholic show. And again, I'm not disagreeing. People should work as ICE agents, but at the same time, it's like, it's not up to the ICE agents themselves. It's up to the policymakers. And it's not really the ICE agents' fault that we're not getting enough deportations. It's Trump's fault. It's Kristi Noem's fault. It's Tom Homan's fault.
Love the way you think.
Yeah, of course you do, Fidel.
ICE is a joke. They aren't deporting anyone.
Yep.
Wouldn't risk becoming an ICE agent. There's too much violence against ICE.
Oh, the fucking little kid is back.
Fascist.
Yeah, shut up, bitch. I'm not gonna call you a bitch or a kid. Shut the fuck up, though.
Pride person is back.
Yeah, Pride person is fucking back, sadly. Pride person's a 13-year-old retard.
I'll admit I don't agree with everything he said there, but calling him a fascist is inaccurate unless he supports an authoritarian government.
I'll say this, I do think the president needs a lot more power.
It's been so long since I've seen Pride person. Now I have someone else helping me rage bait lol.
I don't think Pride person's trying to rage bait. I just think they're retarded.
You all ARW a bunch of insults.
Actually, I'm a volcel, not an incel. Voluntarily celibate, actually. I'm a mogger. Get with the fucking program.
Epstein says that in the files.
Dude, Epstein was based. No, I'm kidding. Epstein based.
Fuentes is Mexican. He loves Taco Tuesday.
Oh, breaking news. Someone with the last name Fuentes has a little bit of Mexican in him. Okay, sick.
Wow, what a dumb take. Just because I'm not white doesn't mean this isn't my country. I served you didn't. How can you be this entitled to land you never went and represented? Pussy cheerleader.
Again, I'm saying a majority white country. It's not a country of only white people. If you can't figure that out, you're a little stupid.
My stepdad served in the military for 20 years.
Thanks. Tell him thanks. But again, like, you're mishearing the point and misrepresenting the point completely, and it just shows low IQ.
Although I don't with calling James a P, he is actually pretty well-meaning, even though I highly disagree with him on this topic.
Yeah, it should stay majority white. I'm not saying all white. Again,
I think at least.
You gotta learn how to actually listen sometimes and not just hear whatever the fuck you want to hear.
And my white grandpa served in the USA Marine Corps in World War II. My other side is brown. I'm still a heritage American.
Yeah, boss. What kind of brown? Are black? Indian? What kind of brown? I feel like you said before. You live in Chicago, it's probably black, I'd imagine. But yeah, I mean, again, if your grandpa served in World War II, I'd say you're a heritage American. Again, it's not a white-only country. It's white majority. Massive fucking difference that you guys gotta just learn to listen. Listen. You have 2 ears, 1 mouth for a fucking reason.
Nah, Vivek has a point.
No, he doesn't. He's retarded. Someone goes absolutely. Someone goes agreed.
James, respectfully, do you actually believe America has a specific ethnicity? I mean, even most of the white people can't trace their heritage to the original colonists. I understand wanting something to feel proud of, and I agree there is nothing wrong with being proud of what you are, but arguing there is a specific ethnicity to country that's largest white community are Germans who aren't even descended from the colonies. As long as we love this country and support American values, we are. Flag of the United States.
Again, I don't think it's the entire country. I think I just answered this, but again, as long as the majority is of white European descent, I think that's what Americans truly are. And yeah, like if your family served in wars in America, I think that makes you more of an American than someone who just immigrated here from fucking Somalia. Like Vivek is saying somebody can come from Somalia, and as long as they, say like, I'm an American, I'm proud of America, and I believe this, this, and this, that makes him just as American as you. Someone who's, and I'm talking to you, the kid who's half and half, Jamin or whatever. Someone whose grandfather served in the fucking wars. Or maybe that was Christian who said that. I don't know, one of you fucking said that. But like, no, that Somalian is not just as American as you. If your grandfather served in the fucking wars, World War II specifically, and then someone from Somalia moves to America tomorrow and claims to be just as American as you, that's just incorrect. And that's the overall point I'm trying to make.
Also, I do think there certainly should always be a large white population in America, but to say they are all the closer to the founding fathers just doesn't make any sense to me, because most of them aren't even Anglo-Saxon, many of them are German, with no connection to the founding fathers at all.
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with kind of what you said, where they literally fought in wars for this country after they immigrated in the late 1800s, early 1900s. They helped build up the biggest cities like Chicago, like New York, like LA, Miami, etc. A lot of it has to do with that. Again, it's not directly about being tied to the founding fathers of this country, but it's a white European descent should be the majority of the country. And a lot of people, it seemed to just go over your fucking heads. Let's see, next comment.
Americans are from the United States. You kids and your European fascination have forgotten. There were 10 generations of colonists that's who founded this nation and established the American spirit and the American identity separate from Europeans. That was the entire purpose of 1776. You guys always glaze over this with your European fascinations. You forget, we have generational Americans who have no European ancestry.
Partially true.
USA was also founded to break away from the fucking Europeans.
And it was founded to break away from kings and bullshit like that, but yeah.
Screw the EU.
Someone in this comment called me a fucking Mormon, what?
Okay, yeah, Mormon monkey. I'm sure all your good work here will get you a planet for yourself. Make sure you keep those magic undies on tight.
Dude, what?
You good fam? You buggin'.
Yeah, you are bugging. You sound like a retard. Fidel is fucking... Holy shit, Fidel has fucking so many comments.
You're not listening to Ben's response. He is saying that the Americans weren't supposed to be there, so you don't look for an American flag if they're not supposed to be there. Sounds about right. Once they got confirmation that it was the Americans, of course they would go help them. Number 2, let's say it wasn't Egyptian boat and they wanted to fool the Israelis by flying an American flag, and the Israelis knew the Americans weren't there because that's what America told them. What would say?
It was a ship broadcasting over airwaves that they were an American ship. They had American hull numbers and an American flag. You just sound retarded.
Also, Israel apologized and paid reparations to every single person on the boat. What more do you want them to do? Every single day they should come out in the morning and say we apologize. Stupid. On that theory, every single day the US government should come out and apologize for enslaving blacks. Just look at your logic. Think about it in an objective view. See, when I switch the situation to blacks, all of a sudden your mind changes.
No, it didn't change. I just think you're retarded. I don't think Israel should apologize every day. Do I think they should apologize? Yes. Do I think that we should be sending them money and weapons? No, I think that would be the correct fix. A full break between the two countries.
I hear the whole crowd clapping for Ben. Not sure what you're saying about Groppers taking over.
Yeah, Turning Point USA is half Jews, half Groypers.
Next, he never called the censor anyone. He just called for people to own up to their words and other hosts to call out when hosts say bad things, not the censor. They're just not going to be part of the movement, the conservative one.
He is openly calling on social media to censor people.
There was also a video of a grouper asking Charlie some racist question, and Charlie said that is not with the conservative movement, is get out of line angrily. So don't use Charlie's name to say he would never call out someone, and always debate everyone, because we saw that video. It's around all over the internet.
Yeah, Charlie would literally debate the guy who shot him, but he wouldn't debate Nick. It just shows you how powerful Nick actually is.
Merry Christmas to all and Happy New Year. Except Fiddle and Christian, the two Jewish shill schmucks.
Rogue Templar W. No, Merry Christmas to them still. Fidel, Merry Christmas to you. Christ is King.
Ben Shapiro needs to move to Israel and get the Israeli players to support him.
He needs to go to Israel and just live there forever. He has an Israeli wife.
I'm not Jewish. Say, did your mom drop you as a baby?
He's talking to Rogue with that one. Dude, Rogue's smart.
I'm very clearly not Jewish, and stop with the obsession with Jewish. You love misquoting the Bible to fit your political agenda. I just don't feel single out Jewish people.
Dude, you say I'm easy to rage bait, but you get rage baited so easily by Rogue. Rogue, you're a W.
Merry Christmas, my guy. Take a break for the week. You deserve it.
I did. Thank you. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you.
This is dedication. Reading them all. A lot of black lines. All I have to say is keep it up.
Thank you. Yeah, we fucking went for it. I canceled my dinner plans that night.
Seems Ben Mossad Shapiro didn't get the memo from Bibi.
Dude, Fidel just went on a commenting rampage. Like, this is Fidel. Fidel has like 5 more comments here. Like, look.
Since Spotify only lets me comment 5 times, I'm going to have to comment here. How stupid are you not to think that Bibi didn't ask Trump before he started the war? So stupid opinion to say Israel knew that America would have to get involved. They asked America before if they would get involved, and since they said yeah, they went and attacked. So yes, you think Trump is a schmuck and you're scared to say it. And I'm not talking about you as in James P. I'm talking about a guy like Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson's a fucking CIA asset, so I don't give a shit about Tucker Carlson that much. Do I think some of the things he says are good? Yeah, but again, CIA asset. Can't really be trusted that much.
Can you bring me proof about this Israeli flag thing that if you burn an Israeli flag in America you go to jail? I never heard about this. I've passed by Palestinian protest that they have. I haven't seen anyone getting arrested. I just don't think that's true, but if you have evidence, I'm willing to hear.
It's a hate crime. Look it up. I think they actually might have changed the laws on it. No, they didn't. It's still a hate crime, but they made that. What makes that law like so crazy as well is they did it like Trump this year made it illegal to burn an American flag, even though people still do it. Same as you're pointing out, people still burn the Israeli flag. Not everyone's going to get prosecuted for it. It's like saying, like, does everyone who speeds gets a ticket? No. People get away with it all the time. But do it in front of the wrong cop, you're going to get arrested. It's going to be a hate crime. And they made the American flag illegal to burn after they did it with the Israeli flag, which is crazy.
Kai, it's stupid. He doesn't realize humans will always figure something out. AI will not destroy our lives or our jobs in the time being. It might, but we will always figure something out. It's just stupid to be scared of that. The human tendency is not like that. He is not in touch with reality.
AI could fuck a lot of things up.
Did Israel assassinate James P? He said he was going to do a Friday episode, and if not, he would do a Saturday one. He still didn't do any.
Yeah, join the Telegram channel and you would know this shit. Why, Fidel, how are you not in the Telegram channel of all fucking people? You're so up my fucking ass. You're doing tricks on it every fucking day. But you're not in the Telegram channel? It's telling. It's telling.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too, buddy. Another fucking Fidel. Dude, Fidel, you're a keyboard warrior this week. Holy shit.
One thing I'll point out, Tucker at least tries to be only political. I guess he doesn't get personal, but Bannon and Megyn Kelly just get so personal. It's like, I guess Megyn Kelly's a woman and Bannon he's acting like one. It's like, grow up, get a pair of balls, argue philosophically, not emotionally.
Agree with the last point.
Vivek is right. If an American is someone who came off the Mayflower, then there would be like less than 1 million Americans today, and going to say tons of people could tie themselves back to the Mayflower, but that's only because they married people who weren't on the Mayflower. Let's say everyone who married each other was on the Mayflower, it would be less than 1 million Americans today. So stupid argument, boo you.
Again, the argument went over your head. I already explained it earlier, not explaining it again.
I don't know much about Peter Thiel. Maybe do a podcast about him.
But Peter Thiel, I've done a few, but I'll definitely do another breakdown soon. How do you not know a lot about Peter Thiel? He's the guy who's trying to fuck us all.
I agree with you. It's an evangelical Christian nation. If you look at the 13 colonies, 12 of them were evangelical. One of them wasn't. That was Maryland. So if you want to go back to that, we can. I agree. The evangelicals like us, so I'm fine with that.
Of course, the Jew thinks it's an evangelical nation. No, it was a Protestant nation at first, actually.
Yeah, JD is going to win.
Sadly, possibly.
I like Tucker's personality. I just don't like what comes out of his mouth sometimes, like him simping for Sharia.
Dude, he's not simping for Sharia. Like, that's just media bullshit.
The DOJ is genuinely retarded. People unredacted the Epstein files by fucking copy and pasting it.
Yeah, the entire administration is retarded.
JDO's Palantir. Where do you think that goes?
Yeah, Palantir's fucked, and JD does owe Peter Thiel some favors.
Had a shit ton of mashed potatoes and Christmas cookies today. I think I'm fatter than Santa.
Good for you. This next comment is what I was saying, oh my gosh, at.
Ronald Reagan was great, beaming face with smiling eyes.
Ronald Reagan fucked this country to death. No fault divorced, Ronald Reagan.
Vivek never said America doesn't have a culture.
He's actually said it multiple times, just maybe not in that speech.
Marco Rubio was born America, James, and he is mostly of European descent.
Does he have American values, though? He's a Cuban. He has Cuban vendettas.
Massey is the only one with balls. Rakana going against Trump furthers his political career.
Yeah, I still think they both have balls for doing it, but I agree. Rogan is kind of a bitch.
This show is really fucking gay. I'd pay Spotify to block this from my Spotify accounting.
Do you realize commenting on it's only going to make it pop up more?
So YTF are you commenting?
Yeah, exactly.
Give James more of your energy then about it. That will show him.
Yeah, really showed me, buddy. I'm gonna go kill myself tonight because my show is so gay. No, I'm not actually gonna do that.
Damn, can James Fishback come and run in Wisconsin? We need some of that up north. We're in a compliant move in our state and we have a retard for a damn neighbor in MN.
Yeah, we need more America First candidates for sure.
And if thy hand cause thee to stumble, cut it off. It is good for thee to enter into life maimed, rather than having thy 2 hands to go into hell, into the unquenchable fire. And if thy foot cause thee to stumble, cut it off. It is good for thee to enter into life halt, rather than having thy 2 feet to be cast into hell. Mark 9:43, 45 ASV.
Thank you for commenting. Merry Christmas to you, buddy.
I was talking about when you kept showing the IDF sweater as a proof that he was Mossad. All I was saying was that's a stupid proof and you used it 3 times, and Epstein having a Talmud in his house means nothing, especially when you don't follow anything that says inside there. You were so pointing out that he had some Christian stuff in his house, so was he Christian also? I know Jesus was a Jew.
Dude, Jesus was not a Jew. Like, that's one of the biggest pieces of propaganda. Jesus invented Catholicism and Christianity. You're so wrong about that. I do understand the argument. He was raised by Jews, but no, Jesus himself created Christianity. He was God. And the IDF sweatshirt's really not the damning evidence. The damning evidence is Ehud Barak and Robert Maxwell over everything.
Jesus was a based badass concrete pouring house building white dude. You know, the kind your type fears. Dude, you are a retard Templar.
Templar goes.
Fight me for charity.
Dude, let's get these charity fights on. I want charity fights so bad. I want to participate. Get me on the White House lawn card.
Gotta give it to Tate. I'm 39 and I'd have a damn heart attack if I had to go 1 round in a pro fight. Shite. Yeah. Glad to see Paul get knocked out. I told my kids it was gonna happen this time. He needed humbled, even though he is also a saltine cracker like myself. I hate to pull against my own color, just couldn't help it. Merry Christmas, James, and everyone in the chat. Hope y'all have a good one.
Well, we should actually pray for the guy who beat Jake Paul, because he just got in a really bad car crash, actually. I'm pretty sure. Pretty certain. Jake Paul also made like $90 million there. I think he still won. He lost a fight, but he won. But I agree, Jake Paul, I don't know. I mean, it's a shtick. Like, do I like the guy? Not necessarily, but, like, it's a shtick over everything. Like, he's just a cocky son of a bitch, and that's, like, you know, it's part of his brand.
Whoa, you need to chill with the crime is going up because whites are leaving narrative. You sound like a white nationalist who blames every other race for problems in this city nonetheless country. Sounds KK-kish. Be more specific of why people left NYC during a pandemic.
Did I even bring up the pandemic? What are you fucking talking about? Shut the fuck up. You sound dumb.
I'm so glad the Chiefs aren't making it to the playoffs this year. They've been getting lucky and getting helped by the refs for way too long.
Yeah, fuck the Chiefs.
What NFL football team do you think will save your country? Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears.
Dude, that was a tough loss for the Bears last night. I'm not a Bears fan, but that was a tough loss last night for them.
Bears are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
No, they're not. Sorry. Eagles.
Yes, buddy. Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears are definitely for serial going to save America. Just sit back on the couch, throw some football on. You don't have to do anything to save your country. Leave it to another man. In fact, wear his jersey with another man's name on it. That will really show the evil people. Mixed babies are just as much white as they are black.
Yeah, but they look black. That's why I wouldn't have one. I want my grandkids to look like me.
James, it was great meeting you at the meet and greet last night. Keep doing your thing, bro. You're killing it, brother.
Did we already read these comments? Didn't I? Did I read these comments already? I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know. We only have a few more. Fuck it. I'll just go through them. If I did, I'm doing them again. Maybe. But it was great meeting you too, brother.
Haha, 1 hour, 37 minutes and 35 seconds. That was me that asked that question about 2016 Trump face with tears of joy. Thanks for recording and posting, my man.
Got you. I'm interviewing him again. Check it out.
Damn, these trolls in the comments are fucking crazy. Bannon was involved with Epstein.
Yeah, kind of sad.
Bro, you should see what that crazy bitch I told you to debate said to me on YouTube.
Way to be vague. What'd she fucking say, dipshit? Sorry, I shouldn't be mean, but what'd she fucking say? Like...
I'm sorry, but dudes that watch anime I want to knock unconscious. Nothing cringier. Think I'm being too hard about anime? On a first date, tell the woman how much you like watching anime. Then when she looks with disgust or leaves, that's just her survival instincts kicking in, realizing this loser won't protect me. He watches cartoons face with tears of joy. Why delete my comment?
I didn't delete any comments. Spotify sometimes does, though.
It's not him, David. It's Jewish communist anti-free speech Spotify. They delete my comments all the time.
Thank you, Rogue. Thanks for standing up for me.
Do you think it's sometimes okay to break the rules of the commandments? For example, lying and telling your kid that Santa Claus is real.
Santa is real, first of all. Second of all, I don't think that's breaking the commandments. That's a retarded example. Let's see if we got any more comments. Alright, that's all the comments. Let's refresh it, see if we got any more while we were filming before we sign off. Yep, one more.
Whoa, you are actually insane. Get help, buddy.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. What's your name? Julio? Yeah, not a surprise. Julio. Assimilate or get the fuck out. That's the entire show, though. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys have had a great time. Again, it's great to be back. Nice 2-hour show. Holy shit, let's go. Christ is king. America Unfiltered is back. America, we are so fucking back, baby. Remember to like, smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. We'll be doing the show tomorrow as well. We'll do a recap of the year tomorrow, and then casual show on Wednesday for New Year's Eve, and then we're going to start the new year off with a bang. We're going to have shows every day this week. Monday, regular show. Tuesday, we have the interview with James Fishback. Let me know the questions you want me to ask him. Sorry about that. Please remember to like, smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. All the comments from today's show will read at the end of tomorrow's show. Remember to join our Telegram channel, rate the show 5 stars on Spotify, follow on Spotify, follow me on X as well, follow me on Instagram, all social platforms. But with that, I'm going to sign off today. Hope you guys have a blessed night. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Thank you, and I will see you guys tomorrow on Tuesday.